We begin in Seattle, where 2 innocent people were killed and 2 more were critically injured when a man with a gun went on a shooting and carjacking rampage Wednesday afternoon. The first victim was a woman shot in her upper back when the suspect tried to steal her car. Then the suspect targeted a metro bus filled with passengers, shooting the driver and leaving the bus riddled in bullets. The next victim lost his life when the suspect shot him after he refused to open his car door. When he finally got into a car and police began chasing him, the suspect crashed into another car driven by a 70-year-old man who died from his injuries. The suspect was dragged away and taken into custody. A Wisconsin man pleaded guilty to kidnapping 13-year-old Jamie Kloss and killing her parents. He wept as he entered a plea to each count. Jake Patterson is 21 and now faces life in prison. He held Kloss captive for 3 months. After the hearing, Patterson was heard saying bye, Jamie, as he exited the courtroom, even though she was not present. Back here in Billings, a walk in the park turned into a 40-foot fall for a man and his dog. It happened at Earl Gus Park by Bench Boulevard in the Billings Heights just before 6 o'clock Wednesday night. Yellowstone County Sheriff Sergeant Ryan Taylor says the man and his girlfriend were walking with their dogs on the Jim Dutcher Trail when one of the animals took off toward the river. The man chased after the dog, and before he knew it, followed the dog over a cliff. Sergeant Taylor tells us the man was transported to St. Vincent Healthcare and was walking around after the incident, but was not coherent. Taylor said the dog appeared to be fine. On to flood watch in Livingston. Floodwaters remain high as crews attempt to repair a washed-out bridge that's now created a 26-mile detour. Last Friday, water started flowing over the road just east of Highway 89, and in that, the bridge washed away. It led to a detour via Springdale, adding time to a normally 10 to 15-minute commute. Officials are not saying when the bridge might be repaired. Further east, more than 50 homes have flooded between Fairview, Montana and Cartwright, North Dakota due to ice jams on the Yellowstone River. North Dakota's KX News says the highway is shut down and 110 people were forced to leave their homes. Governor Doug Burgum toured the area Wednesday and issued a state of emergency in North Dakota. One homeowner said he has not experienced flooding in 70 years, and now his family's land is under 4 to 5 feet of water. Republicans in the state Senate endorsed the bill Wednesday that's supposed to help Northwestern Energy buy part of the Colstrip 4 power plant and extend its future. But as MTM's Mike Dennison reports, opponents question whether the bill is as good a deal as the company and Colstrip supporters say it is.
Northwestern Energy says it's negotiating to pay $1 to acquire another 150 megawatts of power at Colstrip 4 from an unidentified part owner that wants to get out of coal power generation. But Northwestern wants some assurance it will recover longer-term costs of running the plant, and that's where Senate Bill 331 comes in. The bill, after being amended Wednesday on the Senate floor, says any operational costs up to $75 million over 10 years must be passed on to ratepayers, without review by the Public Service Commission. It also says any cleanup costs associated with this 150 megawatt acquisition will be passed on to ratepayers as well. Republican Senator Dwayne Ankney, who's from Colstrip, said it's a good deal for ratepayers and to keep the plant operating.
If they don't get this under 150 megawatts, I can guarantee you that's got about a 5-6 year life. There is absolutely no advantage to shutting this plant down. So it's going to provide us with low-cost, reliable energy that can back up the renewables and keep us going forward.
The bill advanced on a 32-18 vote. All 30 Republicans and a Democrat from Butte and Anaconda voted for it. The remaining Democrats opposed it, including Senator Mary McNally of Billings. She said if the purchase is such a great deal for the 360,000 electric ratepayers of Northwestern, why does the company say it needs the bill to complete the purchase?
But what we do know is the company has chosen to insulate itself from those risks, from regulatory oversight on the purchase, and now we're into 10 years and a $75 million investment. Goes straight to the ratepayers.
It looks like majority Republicans are firmly behind this bill and supporting the coal industry and coal-fired power. If that's so, this bill may come down to whether Democratic Governor Steve Bullock will sign it. At the Capitol, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
The bill faces one more vote in the Senate before it advances to the House. Well, even after seeing the challenges along the U.S.-Mexico border firsthand, Senator Jon Tester still believes a wall is not the answer. Montana senior senator made the trip out there earlier this week. Our own Russ Riesinger was there to cover the tour. Being a member of the Senate Appropriations Homeland Security Subcommittee, Senator Tester will help decide how much money the government should spend on agencies that protect the border. After seeing the operation, Tester believes manpower and technology would be more cost-effective.
See most of that being done with technology and manpower in places where the wall is absolutely necessary. Go ahead and build it, but I'm telling you that there's a better and there's a more cost-effective way of doing this. And if we listen to the people who are on the border and we listen to the folks who are doing the Customs and Border Protection, I think we can find agreement and move forward in a way that makes sense for this country.
While much of the discussion about border security has centered on what is happening on the ground, thousands of people also try to enter the U.S. every year by sea. Senator Tester was also taken to the Bay Area of California for a visit to Coast Guard Island. They went on board a long-range interceptor that the Coast Guard uses to intercept smugglers who are bringing drugs into the country, most often cocaine from South America.
Like I was talking about earlier with the senator, one of the cases that we came across did have an AK-47 on board, along with the contraband, the bales of cocaine that they found.
So that's where I think the Coast Guard's real impact in the conversation about the border is about interdicting drugs at sea, and those are the enablers, or those are the push factors that make people, people make decisions to send their children, other family members north to try to enter the United States.
It's amazing the breadth of everything that they do. I mean, they're there to help support and make this country as safe as possible, and it's just amazing because in Montana we don't hear much about the Coast Guard.
Both the U.S. Coast Guard and U.S. Customs and Border Protection fall under Homeland Security.